Welcome back. Busy chatting to David Scholtz, who's the CFO of Eduloan. We're looking at the education environment, and these guys specialize in making loans to students. Now, as we said when we were going into the break, I'm going to now come and approach you. I want to further my studies. I'm now sick and tired of media because it doesn't pay any decent salaries, and I want to become a psychologist.
Okay.
Because we're all cooked in the head in media in any case, so this wouldn't be a bad thing being a shrink. And I want to go and study for a psychology degree.
Okay.
So I come knocking on your door.
Yeah. There's a couple of ways of doing that. Or channels as we call it. But we've got 44 or 41 offices across the country on all the major universities' campuses. Okay. Obviously, online is also a channel for you, so you can go onto the internet and apply via the internet. What we will require from you is basically your ID,
Nice.
then a quotation from the university itself, a salary slip and bank statements. Basically just to.
If I'm not earning a salary because I'm going to be studying, what else would I be able to come to you and say, look, there's my home, it's paid up, and I have a home loan open. Then I'm silly, I should be taking it out of the home loan.
Yes, you should actually.
Yeah, okay, stupid one to choose.
No, but basically what we're looking at, if you've got a sponsor, if you're a student, and like you say, you have someone that are willing to sponsor you, by all means, same thing, come to us. It's for us important to understand who will be obviously paying back the debt, and you will then obviously do the credit scoring on that individual itself. With regards to our home loan, obviously you will access that specifically if you've got that. But then we'll just go through the credit scoring module in terms of who you are, what you are, do the checks, the background checks, etc. And if you qualify, we will let you know within 24 hours that you are either the loan is approved or declined.
Okay, now I chose the example of a psychology degree, but I would imagine that you are fairly widespread across different types of tertiary educations. Would I be able to approach you, for example, if I wanted to go and study for a trade?
Yes. Artisan, basically, yes. If you would like to go study at the FET, that's further education and training colleges. We also offer, obviously, loans for those individuals. Again, same principle, either online or walk into one of our offices and we will assist you there. So just the one differentiator between us and perhaps a normal credit provider is the fact that we pay directly to the institution. That is very important for us.
Right.
So it doesn't go into your back pocket. We know exactly that it's going towards education, and basically that ensures that you will study using this loan.
Okay, two questions out of that then, David. Firstly, if I came to you and I said to you, look, I want to train to become a plumber, and after that, here is my business plan for Jeremy's Plumbing. Would you look at a new business plan as some form of possible security going forward in that?
Interesting point. We'll have to actually consider it on a case-by-case basis. It is difficult. I must be honest with you. You're talking about someone maybe that's a little bit more entrepreneurial, that wants to obviously further himself, but doesn't have the means to either pay the loan off himself or have a sponsor in a different circumstance. We will look at the application, but again, we need to get to. We are regulated by the National Credit Regulator, and it's important for us not to provide credit recklessly, and we need to be responsible in terms of how we provide. So if I overextend this individual in his current, I would say, financial makeup, it could be problematic for us as an institution.
Well, then let's turn that around. I own Jeremy's Plumbing, okay? And I have 9 plumbers working for me, and the business is doing good turnover. But I don't understand the business of plumbing because I'm a chartered accountant who happens to run this plumbing business. But I want to know about plumbing because I need to know that the Oaks are doing the job properly. Or if somebody asks me a question, I need to be able to answer them. Would you grant me a loan on that basis if I said, look, there's my company, they're my books?
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, that
Okay.
for sure. There you've got the security, and we look at companies, wholly owned, or sole providers,
Right.
proprietors in that sense. Again, need to apply. We just do a basic credit check on them, on the company itself, and if they meet the criteria, obviously we'll extend the credit then.
What about foreign students in South Africa?
Yeah, foreign students in South Africa, again, it's all about the collection methodology.
Yeah.
Okay. We know there are foreigners that work in South Africa and they work for certain companies itself. Specifically with Eduloan, we have agreements with these companies to do salary reductions of their salary. Mm-hmm. And we do assist them and help them. But again, we are mitigating the risk in terms of collections by looking at a salary deduction, a corporate salary deduction as such. That is something that we are investigating, looking at how can we help or assist foreign students that study in South Africa, but obviously they want further education in South Africa, but they live, for instance, in
Zimbabwe,
neighboring countries.
Yeah.
So it's something that we're looking at. We're also looking at expanding our current model here in South Africa that we have to some of the neighboring countries. So that is in the pipeline, and it's something that we would pursue going forward.
I suppose you are entering a legal and a legal, administrative and financial regulatory minefield if you're going into offering, let's say, a student from Harare education in South Africa, and he works for a American-based NGO in Harare. I can just see.
Yes, there is a lot of red tape
happening. Yeah.
No, it is. Cross-border, foreign exchange, all these things we need to take into account. But it's basically setting up the company in that country, understanding, again, if the collection method is debit order, you need to understand the banking industry, you need to understand if it's salary deduction, civil servants. Again, you can't apply what we do here in South Africa as easily in our neighboring countries at this point in time. But it's something that we are actually looking at, and there is opportunities. Obviously, again, being a company looking at education, we want to broaden our horizons and looking at servicing not only South Africans, but Africa as a whole.
What about students who have got, let's say, an education in South Africa, they've got a degree in South Africa, they want to follow it up and do, let's say, an honours degree, but they would prefer to do it at a foreign university in the UK or the US, for example. Mom and dad are still in South Africa. Would you entertain that sort of model as well, where you would be doing the same thing except you are paying directly to a university in the UK, as long as dad is standing the surety, he's the sponsor and he qualifies?
Jeremy, that's one of, well, that's a product that we currently also have.
Okay.
So we do that. We do have foreigners, so local South Africans studying abroad, and it's China, it's like you said, the UK, it's the US.
All over the place, yeah.
It's just, again, where we can collect. It's
I suppose the thing is, like any business, if you look at education as a business, it is also evolving and becoming more international than it has been in the past. You know, people are going overseas to further their studies.
Yes, and we see that, I say, more often. It's basically like, I mean, it's not only from a point of view from South African. I'd say you will go overseas and you see how things are done differently. You learn from wherever you are, from that environment, that educational system, and you bring that back to South Africa. I know there has been an exodus to other countries at one point in time, but some of those individuals are coming back into South Africa and now applying their trade in South Africa, have learned what they wanted overseas, and I mean that makes us as South African or the economy just stronger.
Yeah. We're getting close to the end here, and we need to wrap this whole thing up in a neat little bundle. If South Africans are accessing the money that you are managing to extract out of the system to invest in education, where do you see your company going? I mean, where do you see, where's the growth? Where's the next wave of growth for people in the education loan industry?
Jeremy, good question. At this point in time, obviously looking at where we are, South Africa and education, obviously we'd like to provide education to everyone from a government's perspective as well. But they can only help so many people from looking at the grants that they offer. Our company itself, we would like to grow the business, and I could say basically looking at not only the current market that we have, which is mainly consisting of your civil servants. We would like to obviously attract the broader public of South Africa as well. So that's one of the things. But to be honest with you, we only have a small portion of the civil servant market at this point in time. It's basically getting the message out there to the individual saying, we offer you finance not only to you yourself, but also your children, and that's another market for us as well. So, I mean, there's 1.2 million civil servants in South Africa. That's a huge market. And just to get the message out there to them, saying, guys, it's important for you to keep on educating yourself and your children. That's the way out of poverty. Please, there's a company like Eduloan that will assist you in doing that.
And we can assist.
Yeah.
David, thank you very much for your time.